Moin Moin and welcome to Ralfs Foto-Bude. Yeah, today I present you the Olympus XZ-10, a real small and nice compact camera. It has a 12 megapixel sensor and 4x zoom, which starts from 26 millimeters and goes up to 130 millimeters. The aperture starts at, you see here, we have the aperture which starts at 1.8 in the wide angle and goes up to 2.7 in the telefocus. So yeah, it's the smallest stylus camera of the Olympus range. They have also the XZ-2. I presented here also on my YouTube channel. The XZ-2 is a little bit larger and a little bit more heavy than the XZ-10. It has also a 12 megapixel sensor, but the sensor is a little bit larger and it has only a 4x zoom starting from 28 millimeters. Yeah, the XZ-2 it's a little bit thicker than the, I can show you here, it's a little bit thicker than the 10. Yeah, one reason is the XZ-2 has a turnable monitor. It's also a touchscreen monitor. You can turn the monitor up and you can turn the monitor down. So, and the XZ-10 has a fixed monitor. It's a touchscreen monitor too, but it's fixed, so that's one reason why the camera is a little bit less thick than the XZ-2. So let's go to some of the main interest points of the camera. On top we have the program dial, we have the shutter release, the on-off button, and we have the zoom lever. So, and one thing the XZ-2 also has, this is this front dial which goes around the lens. But the difference between this 2 and the 10 is on the 2 you can change between manual focus, it goes like this, and autofocus, and then the dial has some other functions. The X10 also has autofocus, so there's no manual focusing on the XZ-10, so the ring has only the function to change the aperture or the shutter speed or stuff like this. You can customize the function of this dial, but it's not for manual focusing. So that's one very important thing to know. The XZ-10 has no manual focusing. Here on the back side we have the menu button, the info button, function button, replay button. We have the video button and the four-way button with the small dial around. So let's start the camera. So here we are. I want to change one thing. There you see the menus. One thing I want to change, that's the language. It's a little bit easier. I have the English language. So you see the menu of the XZ-10 is like all the other Olympus menus. You have the different settings here on the side. Let's go up to the first menu. It's the shooting menu. So you have the card setup, reset mode, picture mode. Let's go to the picture mode. You have different settings for the picture mode, like vivid, neutral, muted, portrait, and monotone. One thing you should know, you see this small arrow here at the end. So go in the menu and you will see you can change the contrast, sharpness, and very important, you can change the black and white filters. So you have a neutral filter, then you have a yellow, orange, and a red filter for taking pictures in the sun with a blue sky, and then you have the green filter for improving the skin tones, and back to the neutral one. Then you have the picture tone. You can tone your picture, neutral, sepia, blue, purple, green, and again neutral. And you have the gradation, and you can change from auto, normal to high key and low key. So these are the settings for the monotone, and in the 4 other settings you have always the same. It's contrast, sharpness, saturation, and again graduation, where you can change from auto, normal, high key and low key. So these are the picture mode settings. Then you have the resolution, where you can change from low to medium, and you can also shoot in RAW mode. So that's very important. RAW plus JPEG, you can do both. So you see here you have the different settings for the JPEG, and you can shoot in RAW together. So this is the RAW mode, and you have the movie function. You can make a movie in full HD or in normal HD, which is 1280 by 720, and the full HD is 1920 to 1080. And the camera goes in 30p mode, so it makes 30 pictures in a second in full resolution. You have the image aspect. You can change between 4:3, 16:9, 3:2, and 1:1. So these are the different settings for the image aspect. Then you can lock the dial, and let's go to the image stabilizer. You can put on the image stabilizer. You have a bracketing function. You can change the flash intensity, remote flash, sync, super resolution, zoom, and picture orientation. Then let's go to the playback menu. There you have the normal function. You can edit a picture, and very important, the custom menu, where you can make a lot of settings for the camera, lots of individual settings. As I said before, you have the single autofocus, and you have the macro thing where it says super macro. Super macro means you can go up to 1 centimeter to the subject or to the scene, so you can go very, very close. You don't have a continuous autofocus, and you don't have the manual autofocus, as I said before, so there's only a single autofocus. Then you have the autofocus area. You can set one field, or you can set the whole field. Then you have the AF illumination, so there's a small light in front of the camera where you can light up the scene if you're taking pictures in the darkness. And you have face priority. Then you have the button functions. Now you can change the functions of the button. So the button function means you can change the function of this FN button. So, and how this works, you have lots of points you can choose from, and each point you choose, you will see when I press the button first, you go to the picture mode, second art filter, and so on. So you can set up which functions do you want on this button. I'll show you later how this works, or show you now how this works. You see we have the different settings, and so if you press the FN button, you start with the picture color, then you have the white balance, you have the size, then you have the resolution, and you have the ISO setting, and you have the ND filter, and that's it. Now start again from the beginning, first press, neutral, and so on and so on. So you can set different points on the FN button, which points you want. You only can choose one, like the ISO setting. So if you press the FN button, you always get only the ISO settings. So I think it's very comfortable, because you can set the buttons like you want, and it's very handy to work with it. So then you have the dial functions, and I said before you have the front dial, that's this one, and you have the back dial, and you can change the settings. If you're in the P mode, in the program mode, you can say the program shift is on the front dial and the correction is on the back dial. So you have the different settings. You see if I press the button there, they show me the different settings for the dials. And like on the P, you have the same on the aperture priority. There you set the f number and you have the correction, so and so on and so on. And you can say on the scene, you have the scene mode by turning the front dial and the correction on the back dial. So that's very easy, so you can set up your camera in a way you like it, and so you can make it the way you like it most to work with it. Then you can change the dial direction. So, and then you have the HDMI video output, you have the sound, the volume, USB mode. Then you have the info settings, where you can say which info settings do you want: image only, overall, histogram, and highlight and shadow. So I'll show you how this works. If you press the info button, you have the different settings. You see here's the histogram, and then you have only the main infos. And now you have nothing on the screen. Press info again and you have this informations. So you see you can set up the different info modes. So let's go back to the display. Then you have the display grid. You can say which grid do you want, which form of grid you want. Then you go to the control settings. So and there I show you how it will work in the art filters. If you say art menu and live control, you make you check both of them. I show you how it works. When you go to the art filter, so let's turn the dial to the art filter, and you press the OK button, you see you have the choice of the different art filters. You can turn on the dial or go with the button up and down. And if you press now the info button, you see you're in the settings, in the camera setting, in the most important camera settings. So you can toggle by just pressing the info button between the main camera functions and the art filters. So that's very important to know, because if you don't use this in the menu, you only get the art filter. So if you want to change main camera settings, you have to go to the menu. So I think it's very important to know to set the control settings. Like I said before, you have to go to the live guide and the live control. You can do it for every situation, for e-auto, PSM, art and scene. I set them all off on, so in every of the menus, scene menu and live control is on. Then you have the picture mode settings, but you only have the picture mode settings if you're in the P mode. So let's go back to the display. Here we go. You have the picture mode settings. You can choose which do you want to have. If you only want to have like vivid and portrait or monotone, just check these three. Otherwise, you get the whole list of picture mode settings you have here. Then you have the live view boost and the sleep mode. Then you have the metering. You can change between the full frame metering or the center metering or the spot metering. Usually you take this one. Then you can set if you want to have the focus point is also responsible for the metering of the camera. I'll show you later how this will work. So if you have both of them together, the camera has the autofocus point, and the autofocus point is also for the metering of the camera. You have the noise reduction, noise filter, you have the ISO setting, and you can set the auto ISO, so you can set the high limit and the default value. Then the next point is the flash slow limit, and then you have the white balance. And one nice thing in the white balance, you not only have the auto and sun and cloud and stuff like that, you also have the custom white balance. And in the custom white balance, you can choose from 14,000 Kelvin down to 2000 Kelvin. So you can make a very good white balance setting for each light situation. So otherwise you don't want this go to the presets or just go to the auto settings. Then you have the resolution setting. You can set 4 different resolution settings, so you can customize this for your needs. It's very nice. Then you have the pixel count, file name reset, so you can change, you can set the reset if you have a new compact, a new SD card, you can reset so it starts counting again from 0. Then you have the movie. One important thing, the movie microphone. So the microphone, it's a stereo microphone here on top of the camera. Turn it off, turn it on, otherwise you won't get any sound on your videos, and that's a little bit, I don't like this. Then you have the wind noise reduction, pixel mapping, touchscreen settings, touch calibration, and if you use an IFA card, you can set the IFA card to on. So these are the most important settings of the camera. One thing, if you know the other Olympus camera, they have these kind of mega menu where you can work with a touchscreen, where you have all the settings on the screen. I can show you on the XZ-10. So if you press the OK button, you will have this one. Go to the info button and you have the mega menu where you can work with a touchscreen to change the different settings. This mega menu the XZ-10 doesn't have. You only have the setting by pressing the OK button, and then you have on the side you have the difference, the most important camera settings, and you can go to the face priority ND filter. You see the camera has an ND filter. That's very nice because in the front lens you don't have a ring to put some filters on, so you need the ND filter. Then you have the image stabilizer, you have the different color settings, white balance, as I said before. Then you have the single or serial mode, you have the high mode bracketing. You only have aperture bracketing, you don't have the art bracketing. The other cameras like the XZ-2, the Pans and the OMD, they have these art bracketing where you can say I want to shoot like one picture and the camera make out of one picture 6 art filter pictures. So that's not possible with the XZ-10. You only have the aperture bracketing where the camera makes like 3 pictures with different corrections from a third, 2/3 and 1 step up and down, f-stop steps, 1 up and down. You have the self timer, 12 or 2 seconds. So let's go back to the single mode. Then you have the different formats, 4:3 as I said before. You have the different resolutions and you have the different video resolutions, and you can start the flash. So let's go to the flash. You see the flash pops up here. One thing, the XZ-10 doesn't have an external flash shoe, so you only have the internal flash like the XZ-2. They have a external flash, and it's not only an external flash. The XZ-2, you can put an electronic viewfinder on this because it's a special shoe, it's a special connector, so you can put up an electronical viewfinder from Olympus. So you have the option to put an electronical viewfinder on the XZ-2. This option you don't have on the XZ-10. You only have the screen on the back side, and that's it. Yeah, so this is the this was a flash, and here you have the flash correction. You have the different measurements for the exposure, and as I said before, single AF or the macro mode, super macro mode. And here we back to the ISO setting. Yeah, so these are the most important settings you can choose here in the menu. If you are, like I said before, if you're in the art filter mode. You go up here to the art filters. You see you have the different art filters here. You can just turn the dial and go to the different art filters. One very important thing is if you're in the art filters, you have you see that down there the small arrow, and if the small arrow is there, you should have a look what you can change to. So just press the button on the 4-wheel dial and you will see there are different filter type settings. So that's not only the dramatic filter, so you can go up there and change the different dramatic filter settings. And that's not only on the dramatic tone. Always you see this sign on down at the screen. You can make several settings, several individual settings of the art filter. You can add frames or stuff like that. So have a look there, and you can customize the art filter by yourself. And as I said before, just press the info button. Just go back to the. Press the info button and you see you can toggle between the art filter and the camera settings. The same if you go to the scene mode, it's exactly the same. If you're in the scene mode, you have the different scene modes like portrait, landscape, sport, night scene, sunset, panorama, and you have a HDR function. If you press the info button, you're back in the important settings, and again info button, you're in the scene mode. So that's very nice to know, and that's very good to make the settings in the menu. If you're in the e-auto mode, you see there's a small arrow. If you press on this small arrow, you can change individual settings of the e-auto mode. So you have the possibility for express motions, you have the blur background, you have the change, can you change the brightness, you can change the color image, and you can change the saturation just by pressing. This is one of the only things where the menu works also with touchscreen. Just press the button and you have the slider, and on the slider you can change from flat and muted up to clear and vivid. You also can use for sure the buttons. So this is the only setting where the touchscreen works in the menus, because usually in the menus you don't have the touchscreen, only in the e-auto mode where you can set these different functions. Also here, press the info mode and the info button, and you're in the usual camera settings. So, and then we have the it's called a little bit the fun mode, where you can make different like collages, where you can put like 4 or 5 or 2 pictures together. You see we have like this, or 5 pictures in a row, and then we have 2 pictures, one large, one small, and some of them you can customize by yourself. You see you have here different settings, different orientations, and then you have here different settings for the different art filters, because they combine these frames with different art filters. You see there's like a pop type, and there's like a soft tone type. And how this works, it's very easy. You set it the picture and the frame you want, and then you see, here we go, you make the first shot just by, you can use the touch focus, and here we make the next picture, just press and then make the last picture like this, and that's it. So we have 3 pictures combined together, set OK, and that's it, perfect. And if you go to the playback button, you see that's your result. So that's very easy, that's very nice to make some picture combination, to go out and make some nice collages. I like it. It's because it's a little bit playing with the camera, and I like these playing around with camera. So I know that the ambition photograph says so. No, I don't like it, but for me it's okay. So you see here you have the touch mode. If you are in this touch mode, in the only focus mode, the camera focuses on the point. And if you are in the touch mode with the shutter release combined, you are in the mode when you press, you see the camera shoots a picture. Also, if you press your finger on the point you want to get sharp. So there's no reason to change the point, the autofocus point on the screen. You can do by pressing the button here, and then you see you have the autofocus field, and here you see what I said before. If you combine the autofocus field and the metering field together, the camera sets the metering. I go on the white, you see the camera goes a little bit more down with the exposure. I go to the black, the camera goes up with the exposure. So that's the combination from autofocus field and metering together in one field. So let's go to to the aperture. You see, if I turn the front dial, you see here I turn the front dial, and you see how the aperture changed here down there from f-stop 2.2 up to 8.0. And you turn the back dial, and you see you have the exposure correction by turning the back dial. So in every program mode you have the different settings for the front dial and the back dial, as I said before, but it's very easy to handle, and you can customize it for your needs. So I like it very much because it's easy, it's nice to work, and like I said before, if you're in the art filters, it's very easy. Just turn the front dial and you see the different art filters, and you see the result directly on the screen, so you can change very fast the different settings. The same is for the scene mode. If you're in the scene mode, just turn the dial and you see here we have the different scene modes. So that's very easy, that's very fast, and I like it very much. Yeah, so these are the most important things from the Olympus XZ-10. The picture quality, I think it's fairly good. It's a compact camera. You shouldn't go up to the very high ISO areas because it gets a little bit noisy for sure. But do you expect it's a small compact camera? It's not a DSLR, but I think the picture quality is very good. You can go on my Flickr account. There I have some ISO rows where you can compare the different ISO settings, and you can see how the noise gets more and more with more higher ISO values. So you can compare, and you can make your mind by yourself. It's much easier if you see the results by yourself than I explain and I say something to you, because some people say when there's almost a little noise, they say, oh my god, that's too much noise. And some people say, even if the noise is a little bit more high, it's okay for me. I like it to see it on the TV screen, and that's absolutely okay for me. So compare it by yourself. Go on my Flickr account. There you will see the pictures, the ISO pictures from the XZ-10. As I said, I like the camera very much. It's very handy, it's small. As I said, it has all the most important functions I need. I don't need the manual focus for a camera like this. For me, it's absolutely enough to have a autofocus. The speed is high enough for taking pictures of my dog or street photography. The autofocus speed is high enough, and the serial mode is with almost 5 pictures in a row per second for like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 pictures. Is enough. You have the high speed mode with almost 20 pictures a second. So you have the art filters, you have these fun thing with the collage. So I think there's everything in the camera you need. You have a good menu, you have different settings in the menu where you can customize the cameras. You have the very nice macro mode where you can go up to 1 centimeter to your scene, so to your subject. So that's very nice. Yeah, so I like the XZ-10. I think for this size, the camera has all you need. You can put it in your pocket and have it all the time with you. Hope you enjoyed my video. You hope you enjoyed my explanation. Come see me again on my YouTube channel and see me on Flickr. There are a lot of pictures. And see me on my German internet page. Unfortunately, it's still only in German. I work hard on it to get it in English too, but I think it takes a little bit to translate all the stuff, or the main stuff. But come on, see me on my internet site www.ralfsfoto-Bude.de. And yeah, and see me on my YouTube channel. There comes more and more videos in English too. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it and you had a little bit fun and you know a little bit more about the XZ-10. So come back and see me again, have fun, and till now I say bye bye and moin moin.